Was a pleasure. Bringing us stories trending around the world is Ayo Mairo Ese. Ayo.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bati. It's time to take a look at what's trending around the world. Let's begin what's trending. Retired Supreme Court Justice Mary Odili delivered insightful remarks at a recent Abuja colloquium celebrating Joe Kiari Gazama, SAN's 25th anniversary as a senior advocate of Nigeria. Addressing the theme, The Nigeria of Our Dreams, a call to patriots, Justice Odili acknowledged the turbulence surrounding the 2023 elections while recognizing that feelings of loss and disappointment are natural in a democratic society. She firmly emphasized that actions that threaten national stability cannot be justified. She called for a commitment to resolving disputes through established legal channels such as electoral tribunals and the courts, rather than resorting to actions that could plunge the nation into turmoil. Let's take a look before we come back for reactions.
It is no doubt appropriate that the theme is, quote, the Nigeria of our dreams, a call to the patriots. I say so in the light of the prevailing situation in Nigeria as a result of the 2023 general elections, which has generated a lot of storm, necessitating the conversation which we are about to indulge in, as there seems to be moves to throw the nation into chaos or conflagration. These may be brought about by some individuals and groups who, fanning the embers of hatred, bigotry, and tribalism, fail to see the possible outcomes of the utterances without caution that are being thrown around. It is human to feel cheated or having the short end of the stick, but one who is not declared a winner at any of the electoral contests, such emotions, however grim, does not justify bringing the roof down, the roof of our nation.
All right, so in that particular video that's been trending, obviously, she also acknowledged the two councils of the President Tinubu team or camp, and that got a lot of reactions from people. Here's one of such reactions. JP says, very bad for former Justice Mary Odili to publicly praise Olanipekun and Fagbemi, who are representing Bola Tinubu and APC at the tribunal. For a former Supreme Court justice to be speaking on active case in court publicly is very worrisome. She can't bully Nigerians. Let's go straight to you, Rufai. What's your take on this? I mean, the video is longer, and she mentioned a few things.
So the video is longer, so let's get a couple of things right. Number one, calling those people's name, I think they were there at
yes,
that
they were.
event.
She was acknowledging
So she was acknowledging their presence there. So it's not, so I think that is out of place when you say, oh, why should we acknowledge them?
No, but she was praising their efforts, saying that they, in cases, they are very successful. So that was part of the thing.
No, but apart from tribunal case, you can't dispute the fact that Lateef Fagbemi has been a very successful lawyer in cases in this country. You can't also dispute the fact that Olanipekun has done considerably well on cases in this country.
Absolutely.
All right, that's out of it. But for me, the part of the speech that didn't go down well with me is the fact that people should not blackmail the judges. No, nobody's blackmailing the judges. People are just saying all eyes on the judiciary. And it has to be stated. You see, we don't want our democracy to go all right. That's why we speak up. And it is a democracy, not a military government. That's the difference between a democracy and military government. And this is for those that are calling for a coup and military government. No, I say no, perish the idea. Because in a democracy, you can speak. But in a military government, you can't speak. I mean, there are many copious stories of journalists jailed for doing their job in the military government. Arbitrarily. Secondly, people have a right to say judges should please do their job according to the tenets of the law. Lord Denning once said, and I quote, that a judge that sits on trial, the judge himself is on trial. Pure and simple. And the judge himself is on trial as regards the case of Nigeria.
That's true.
So we expect them to do right. She also talked about the part people ventilate their views. Yes. One other part we should also expect people to say is the fact that we have a lot of civilian coups happening, and we must have a country where we must constantly say no to election fraud. It's because we take too many things lightly in this country and we're just thinking, was it good, the things that happened in the last election? That people went out to vote and electoral fraud happened? That foreign media like the BBC was showing us the shenanigans in Obiakpo results? Anyway, those are before the courts now.
Yes.
So we should introspect and be truthful with ourselves, what we truly want from ourselves, and what for our democracy. All right? She said some parts of that, but that's just a part of the speech I also want to clarify. I've been hearing next story in my ear, so
we have to move on.
This
is the only story we're taking for today.
There is nothing that Justice Mary Odili said that was out of place. She's a retired justice of the Supreme Court. As a retired judge, she's entitled to freedom of speech. People were saying, oh, she was praising APC lawyers. Well, Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, is Attorney General of the Federation. He was at that event in his capacity as Attorney General of the Federation. The order of protocol, there's no way it could have been ignored by a retired justice of the Supreme Court. Number two, Chief Wole Olaonipekun is a legal icon in this country. He was chairman body of benchers. Justice Mary Odili took over from him as chairman of the body of benchers. There's no way she will be in a public forum, she will not acknowledge him. J.K. Gazama, SAN, in which honor the colloquium was held, is himself a very prominent PDP lawyer. So that was not a partisan occasion. And as for what she said about people who are attacking the judiciary and all of that, a simple point is that people should respect the rule of law and allow the judiciary to do its work. And that those who are opposing the judiciary and trying to pull down the roof because they are aggrieved, if they pull down the roof will also fall on their own heads. It's just pure common sense. So all that titu-tatu about what Justice Mary Odili said is completely out of point. And I don't think she said anything that is wrong. Yes, we expect the judiciary to do its work. Whatever opinion she expresses, she is no longer a justice of the Supreme Court. She is free as a citizen to express her views. Other people are also free to hold their own views.
Yes.
And that's all. Thank you very much, Ayo.